Hello everyone, my name is Corazar, and welcome back to the Vintage Story Guide. We are back in the world on this late day in February, and in the last episode we finally started the process of firing our iron into steel with the help of lots of coal, lots of pricey materials, and some charcoal that's in here. Now, last episode, I said that I was going to babysit all of you and I'd see all of you again when we had steel. I lied. And I'm not sorry about it, actually. See, I had a thought, and that is there are several mods that we have not explored yet, as well as a few new ones that I've added for some quality of life things, and I wanted to sort of do a bit of a housekeeping episode where we come back here every now and then and poke and prod at these things, give them a little bit of coal underneath and relight them as needed. And in the meantime, we are going to explore some of the mods that we have either updated, that we have never touched and have been on for a while, and the couple that I have added recently. Now, some of these mods I added in response to issues in the game, and they are kind of like attempts to fix them. One of them is a minor annoyance that you are probably all familiar with, and another one is an actual bug we talked about, which is that tree leaves just don't generate right. And so we're having trouble getting tree seeds. But first, in last episode, I mentioned that you don't want to go into these furnaces while they are firing, and I figured I should probably show you why. It's because it hurts. A lot. It's about 4 damage a tick, so yep, that hurts a good bit. So yep, they're pretty hot. Don't go in them while they're, burning. When your coal runs out, even if they're not completely done processing, because there's no heat in there, you can go in safely, but you can always open the door and look at the coffin to actually see what the carburization percentage is. And yes, you'll note that in last episode I couldn't recall if it was going to be 3 or 5 firings. Well, after 1 firing, this was at 20% exactly, so it is going to be 5 firings. That means each of these requires 2.5 stacks of coal. So we're going to go through 5 stacks of brown coal before we're done. Hey, our bricks are done. Nice. Some of them. Okay, but new quality of life mods, what are they? Well, there's one of them that I wanted to check out with you guys here on camera. I have added a block pick mod. Those of you who played the other block game might know that you can look at a block and press your middle mouse button, and it will select that block from your inventory and move your cursor down here onto it, your actual picked block. Now, in Vintage Story, you can do that, but only in creative mode. And I don't know why. It's a really handy feature. So we have right here some medium fertility soil, and let's just see. Oh, look at that. I middle clicked. Yes. So let's see how this works. If I get some of you out of here and I put you on the ground, and I tuck you back in my inventory, what happens? Oh. I am speechless. I am flabbergasted. Sir or madam or whatever you are in between or outside of that, thank you. Thank you for making this mod so much. You have no idea. This just saves so much time messing around in my inventory trying to find the right block. I can just boop and I have it, assuming it's on me. Now, the main difference is that if this block was not in our inventory and we middle click, nothing happens. And that is good because that means we're not making blocks from nothing but ether. And yes, that is really cool. I'm going to forget that I have this, by the way, but I'm going to try to start using it because, man, it is so much nicer than to have to bring this up all the time and talk while I'm looking for a block. Now, the second mod I want to take a look at is one that I already had on my radar, but someone else recommended, and that involves something to do with our forge. And that is the Quench In Barrels mod. Now, for that, we're going to need a barrel. Let's go ahead and make one. Let's go ahead and fill it up, and we'll bring it over to the forge. Okay, let's see. A barrel for the forge. Where should you go? Probably, right over here, I'm going to guess. Okay, so in normal Vintage Story, when you throw an item... Oh, interesting. Interesting. So I guess that's still true. we're going to have to see how this mod works in conjunction with another mod we're going to look at today. But I was kind of thinking that you'd be able to throw items in and have them actually fall in the barrel, but no. So I guess we'll see how this works a bit later, because I want to come back to this, because these are new mods that we've added since last episode. And so I'm going to go through those before we get back to the mods that have been on the series for a while and just never touched. So we'll see you again in a minute. Don't go anywhere. Okay, the next mod is one that we're going to go back to our storage room to check out again. We're going to need some glass, specifically some glass panes, but I believe we need more glass anyway. We'll need a saw, and we're going to need some wood for some doors. And I need to decide which doors I want to do here. Let's do like the kitchen doors. So we'll do some walnut. All right, let's saw you up. We'll saw a couple of you up. That should be enough. Now what I've added on here is a combination of mods. One of them allows us to create our own sleek doors. Now, as you recall, sleek doors are these ones that have the window in them. And we can't actually make them normally. This mod enables that. It also makes a change to them that makes them airtight. And I realize we're going to need some nails for this. There we go. So it's sort of a 1-2 punch of it lets us make these doors on our own, and they're also airtight. I think this is a good mod to have because I really disagree with the 9 to 13 gear cost of the sleek doors from the furniture traders. I think it's a ridiculous sum for what's ultimately not a... It's not a functional block. I mean, it's not functional beyond what these do. It's just cosmetic. And so, I don't know. I feel like this mod is non-cheesy, but let me know what you think after you see these doors in place. Now, the second mod that works in conjunction with that is that the sleek doors normally don't show the glass in them. I can't really show you because I already have the other mod on, but as you can see, there's a bit of a pale kind of tint to those. There's glass in here. The normal sleek doors don't have that, so this is actually just a change to the model so that they actually look like, you know, like they kind of should, I think, if they're going to be airtight. So let's go ahead and make a couple of these doors. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then pieces of glass, and then our saw, and then nails. Nice. And that's going to use, I believe the mod said 8 durability. Let's see. That was a bit more than 8. Let's do it again, because I'm going to need 4 of these anyway. And let's see how many, or how much durability it uses. So 273, and we're now down to 257. So it is 16 durability. That's still not too bad. But let's go ahead and finish these out. And let's replace these doors to our kitchen with the sleek doors. So we're going to take you out and take you out. And we're going to do this and this. You still have that. Interesting. I like it. Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness. This is like 10 times better. Front doors are going to get changed here soon, but I think, you know what? I want to see something because I was thinking that I might want to replace these front doors with Purple Heart, but this color's kind of grown on me a lot, you know? I was actually going to replace this with Acacia, so it'd be very bright red, but now that I see it, I think that it might clash with the red that we have going on here. So I don't know, I might leave these. I might just build a Purple Heart door or two and slap them in, see how they look. If I hate it, we'll go back to the redwood. And if we do, we're doing sleek redwood doors. And if not, sleek Purple Heart doors. But yes, I just like that so much. And I do like the plain glass tint. It sort of reminds you that there is, in fact, some material there. So yes, that is definitely going to be a thing. Let's get rid of you. Oops. Whoopsie. Yeah. I meant to do that. There we go. Now, these doors are probably going to stay open most of the time, but I do like the extra texture. I think it's nice. Yes, please. So, while we are on the topic, let's go ahead and grab... let's do 2 Purple Heart logs. It's going to hurt. I don't want to use these up already, but let's go ahead, and we will just make some more of these fancy doors, because it does use less wood. There we go. And we're going to need some more glass too. But let's see how Purple Heart doors would look in our front door. Front doors. Meet front doors. Ooh, ugh. No. 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 This is one of those times when my initial vision has failed me. I'd always envisioned having Purple Heart doors here. It is just not. It's just not working out. Nope. Nope. Get gone. Goodbye. Well, now I'm sad. I really wanted to use Purple Heart doors. Oh well. We're gonna tuck you away in here forever. Farewell. And we'll probably use some of these again at some point, like in barns or something. But for now, goodbye. Instead, let's turn to redwood. And we're going to do all of our doors that are currently leading outside will be changed to redwood. So we have that one, and that one is a door, quote, quote. I'm going to leave these alone for now because these are not going to always lead outside. These are actually going to go into what will eventually become our tool hallway. It is now our tool outside wall with dirt on top. But this will become a proper hallway at some point. And let's go ahead and make a few more pieces of glass. Get these doors in. Alright, so, doors. Farewell. Farewell. Oh, yes. Yes, please. Now I can actually look outside without having to open the door, which is amazing. And same goes for... Oops. You? Ah, you're on this side of the frame. That's fine. Haha. Oh my goodness. Huh. They're actually a little bit cloudier than even these windows are. And these aren't all that cloudy, to be honest. This is kind of like the regular glass almost. But I do like it. I do like these doors a lot. Okay, now for one of our next two mods, we're going to need to visit our tool wall. I'm going to borrow this guy. But before we get to this one, the other mod that I put on is called Better Stepping. And what Better Stepping does is it normalizes your character's footprint a little bit, so that when you are stepping up and down from snow, for instance, it's a bit less jittery and jerky, and you'll see that we're not really getting pushed around quite as much when we're transitioning from the low snow of our pathway to the high snow of this sort of thick snow layer. And I am absolutely here for it because when I'm running home at night through the snow and there are different sort of levels of snow piled up, it just gets really annoying and you kind of get bumped left and right, like kind of like juddered and jerked around, and this just makes it a much nicer experience. Maybe the jittery, jerky snow run is part of Tyron's plans, but if they are, I kind of hope he would change his plans. But yes, this will make running through the snow, and in general things like stairs and so on, also just that much nicer. Because as I walk up diagonally, I'm going up, rather than kind of getting pushed to the side so much. Yes, that is much better. Okay, and the last new mod I have is one that is hopefully a temporary mod. Tyron and the team are aware of the tree leaf issue, and as I understand, they are looking to try to fix it in 1.19. However, we are in 1.18, and until then, we have a lot of trees generating with very, very few leaves. Like these walnut trees are absolutely dinky. But we should see at least a seed or two from this. This mod changes the drop rate to, I believe, 20% for branchy leaves and I think 9% for regular leaves. So yes, we already have 3 seeds. This is a few more seeds than we should have. Like if this were the vanilla game and the trees were properly bushy and we'd sheared the whole tree, we'd probably have 1 to 2 seeds at most. But this change will let us actually plant and harvest and sustainably do those things to our ebony and purple heart trees. So I'm going to use this mod for the meantime, and whenever this issue gets fixed, I will take that mod off, which will hopefully be no later than 1.19.0, but time will tell. And one side effect of this mod is that I wouldn't say it makes the walnut seeds viable as a primary protein source. At least it makes them reasonable in a really tight pinch. Because if you're just getting like one seed per tree, well, you're never going to eat them. But getting more than one seed, yeah. And frankly, given how prolific trees are with their seeds in real life, I don't know why tree seeds are so difficult to come by in the game in general. Because I have an oak tree outside my house, and every year, even when it's not a massive production year, the tree drops a gazillion acorns, more than the squirrels can eat. And if you stand under the tree in fall for too long, you will get beamed on the head by them. And I have to rake them up every year, and I don't see why we wouldn't just have gazillions of tree seeds from trees in the game anyway. Alright, we are back to our glass here for our last mod. Now this mod is one that has been on the series or in the game since pretty much the beginning, or maybe close to it. But this is called the Spyglass mod. Now we've been using the mod called Zoom Button Let's Enhance Reborn. It is a reborn version of an older mod that I believe was abandoned by the author. And we have a hotkey that lets us zoom in, and it basically does it by reducing our field of view to 20 and also cutting our mouse sensitivity by half of its current value. So pretty nice all in all. Now, however, it is a little bit unfair, a little bit cheesy in a way, because like, what are we doing? Just putting our finger to our eye and then zooming in? It doesn't work like that. The Spyglass, at least, is an object that we then have to smith and then carry with us, which I'm not super fond of. Let's just do tin bronze. Because in Vintage Story, your inventory is a bit of a premium anyway, so having to carry another item is not really what I want to do. But I thought we should check it out and see if it's maybe better than the Zoom Button mod. So let's go ahead and we're going to smith 2 of these. These are going to be Spyglass tube halves, and I assume each one takes 1 ingot. Now, something that concerns me about this mod is that, if I look it up, I'm noticing a durability on here. And I'm really hoping it's not a durability for how many times you can zoom, because that's just, I don't know. But we'll see. We will see, indeed. Alright, I'm going to get to smithing these, and then we will try this out in just a minute. And after we're done smithing, I'm actually going to quench the halves of the Spyglass in here before we actually use them. So we'll see if we get to throw them in, or if we just have to like right-click with the tongs or something. Okay, so do we throw these in here? No. Oh, I assume. Okay, that's weird. It turns the whole... it turns the entire barrel into tin bronze. Okay. You know, that's not too bad. I think we'll keep it. I would prefer to be able to throw it in, but I guess the modder couldn't figure out a way to cheese that into the game. So that's fine. That's a good solution. Alright. Quench again. A barrel full of bronze. It's a real heavy barrel. Okay, and then to finish making the Spyglass, we just take the halves, put glass in between, and we get a tin bronze Spyglass with 200 durability. So, let's see. If I use this... Oh, wow. Ooh. So this mod does not reduce your mouse sensitivity, and it really flings your view forward. And it is a much larger zoom, so we are really zoomed in. Let's look at our door, for example. So we can see basically one panel of 4 with some around the edges. If I use the zoom button, it doesn't zoom in nearly half as much. So that's interesting. And it looks like that durability isn't really used, so that's great. I do think that the Spyglass needs to calm itself a little bit on the zoom in, and it also needs to reduce your mouse's input sensitivity while you're zoomed in. And I apologize to anybody who has motion sickness issues, but I do want to try out this mod. And yeah, it's very smooth. I do like it. I do like it. And I do like that it doesn't use durability. So, perfect. Kudos to you, modder. Now, I'm going to check on our progress here. Okay, we're down to about half. So I lit this at about 2 a.m. last night. So we'll come back in probably the morning and see if it's ready. Get past these drifters too, I guess. Yeah, beat it, buddy. I'm going to bed. Oh, good. A temporal storm is approaching. Get up, you fool. Get up. Oh my goodness, we have 2 hours. Oh my goodness. I think we're going to have to actually weather this one. I'm going to grab me some flint. I'm going to grab me some sticks, which I already have. I don't know how many spears I have over in our little place. Oh, let's get our lantern out. Let's get over to our little amazing and gorgeous dirt hovel of a drifter pit, which I have not used in quite some time. And we have plenty of spears. Nifty. Alright, well, I'm actually going to do this temporal storm the old-fashioned way, so I'll see all of you on the other side of it. Well, folks, aside from a single nightmare drifter kind of hanging out in the back there, wandering off, that is the conclusion of the first temporal storm I've weathered in quite a while. We kind of got cheated, I feel, because that doubleheader did not have any temporal gears. We got 5 rusty gears and 10 flax fibers. That is not a haul. Not a haul. But let's get out of here. I need to go check on our cementation furnaces. I'm going to get rid of all of these old spears. And let's be off. Yep, all's quiet here. So, let's get another stack of coal. We're going to fill both these up. And then we'll light them up. And there we go. So we are now over 40% done. Oh, we're at 40%. So we are probably going to need to add 2 technically charcoal to each pile, or coal to each pile, while they are burning at some point, just to make up the difference, because I recall, even though we are lighting these as fast as possible, there is a bit of delay, and so you need 5 firings plus a teeny bit to get to 100%. So I will do that at some point here, but that will be for later on. I think for now, though, I want to actually plant these tree seeds while we're thinking about them, since we've mentioned them earlier today. Let's go ahead and plant a few of these around and get them ready so that in spring we don't have to spend time away from the things we need to do in spring planting tree seeds. I think we're going to plant these southerly trees out this direction. But yeah, I'm going to grab my shears and take down these little shrubby tree things and make some room for some real trees. Well, folks, I'm going to put this stuff away. Done. And then I'm going to go and probably sleep, tend to our steel works over here, and then in a couple days, we'll check back in and let's see how our steel is doing. And hopefully by then, it should be done. Let's go ahead and we're going to just drop one there and there, and there and there. And that should be all the coal that we need to use. Well, in addition to 2 more stacks. One for the 60 to 80% progress, and then 80 to 100%. So as you can see, we're actually getting pretty low on coal, and we won't be able to fire it another time, assuming we still have ingots left over, and we should, because I'm going to be probably doing some more iron blooms, since it is a violent storm level of wind. So over the next couple days, I'm going to be hammering out more iron blooms into ingots. I'm probably going to make a bit of a mining trip to somewhere over here. I think I found some brown coal. Yes, brown coal near Y99. And there's brown coal here too. So yeah, I'll see what I can do about getting that coal and the supplies up, and I'll see all of you in a couple days. Okay, folks. It is the last firing of this batch of steel, our very first one. And while that's working, I was thinking we could come up here and make a few upgrades to our tower here. That's right. I was thinking we should come in and we should add our second gear that I've been threatening to do for quite some time, because we now have enough. Oop, another block is in the way. What's in the way? Oh, I'm in the way. Nope. Another block is in the way. I'm not sure what's in the way. Oh, the ladder's in the way. Of course it is. Okay. There we go. Okay. Would you... Ooh. Okay. How would you like to connect, my friend? Really? No? Not at all. There we go. Okay. Now? Hey, okay. That was a bit of finagling, but it worked out in the end. Let's get over here from the outside. And I only have enough linen to make 2 full sets of sails. We have a little bit left over, but I want to save some just in case we need it for, I don't know, anything else really. And this should, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we should have plenty of room here to put some more sails. So, let's get up here and get that done. Okay. Nice. And then we can go ahead and tuck these back where they came from. And do the same on the other side. After I take the ladders down. And on, and on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see how that looks. It looks ridiculous, and I love it. Alright, we need 2 more. Those should come this year. But the reason I wanted to get those up and running is that I wanted to make sure we can basically always run this thing at about max speed. Yeah. So we'll still be limited by the wind's actual speed, but now we should have enough torque to run this at basically whatever speed the wind will provide. Very, very nice. Alright, good morning or early afternoon, mid-afternoon everybody. It is, or it should be, about the appointed time. Let's see, ooh, we have cracked bricks. We're still firing here, which probably means that we may have overfed it. Hey, we're complete here. And we're complete here. Okay, well. We can go ahead and break these piles up. Unfortunately, we don't get anything back because they're burning. But we don't need them anymore. So you will see upon completion of your firing of steel, you are likely to have some broken brick blocks. Now, it is possible that you don't lose any bricks. Unlikely, but possible. Because given that there are 53 bricks in each one of these, because these are tier 1s, have a 10% chance of breaking, then it's really unlikely you'd end up with 0 broken bricks. But this is actually pretty solid. So what we do next is we're going to take our pickaxe and we are going to break these open. We get the lids and the coffin pieces back. These happen to be quite hot right now. Yeah. And as you can see, we got back 32 charcoal out of the 40 we put in initially. Where'd the other 8 go? Well, they went into the iron to make blister steel. Now, blister steel is not quite the end product. We have one more little step to go. And yes, it does involve burning even more coal. So as you can see, making steel is a very, very, very fuel-intensive process. So what we're going to have here is blister steel needs to be turned into steel ingots. And basically we have steel ingots that they're a little bit deformed from all the heat and the carbon being forced into them. So we need to heat these up and hammer them out. Now we have a moderate breeze, so we can probably... gentle breeze, no. we will be doing this by hand. And even if you have a fast help hammer setup, it's usually just better to do it by hand because it's so simple. It is much more simple than doing iron blooms into iron ingots. While those are heating up, I'm going to go ahead and put these back in place. Whoops, not like that. Right, it's like this, and then like that. And the stone lids I'll just keep over here for now. Okay, so we have our tongs. Let's get our blister steel out. And as you can see, we have a little bit of slag and a little bit of odds and ends stuff to break off of here. You're really not going to be smushing stuff around a whole lot. As you can see, we are now done with that ingot. So yeah, this is a really quick process. It's mostly going to be splitting. Every now and then you'll have to move a little block of or voxel of steel into place. But by and large, it is just splitting. And just like with iron, if you do mess up and you end up deleting too many blocks, you can always put this on your help hammer and it will fix it for you, just like with the iron blooms. So yeah, that's how it's done. I'm going to go ahead and finish doing all of these, and then we'll talk about what to do with the cementation furnaces at this point. Okay, and like that, we have 32 hot steel ingots. Now, some people might try to tell you to turn these into tools while they're still hot, and they'd be right. So let's go ahead and do some of that now before we get back to the cementation furnaces. We're going to make some replacement hammers because we only have one more iron hammer here. And we are out of shovels, so let's make 2 shovels. Wherever the shovel heads are found, there they are. And now we have 2 shovel heads. Let's go ahead and we're going to move on to pickaxes now. And lastly, I'm pretty sure I need a scythe. And there isn't anything else here that I need immediately anyway, so yeah, let's go for a scythe. And that will be that for now. These are still warm enough to hammer, but I think it's time to move on. And there we go. Now, of course, because we are working steel, we do have to use the iron anvil. If we were to try to work it on the tin bronze anvil, we would get pretty much nowhere with it. But what to do about the cementation furnaces and these cracked bricks? Well, it's a good thing that we made some spares because we need to replace these broken bits. Let's go ahead and grab those. And all we're going to do is we're going to grab our pickaxe, our ailing iron pickaxe, and we're going to break these blocks. We'll get a few bricks back. Not a ton, but at least it's something. And we'll just replace them. So we're going to go around and inspect all the blocks here and replace all of the cracked ones. Starting from the outside, like so. Get some of these guys done here. And then we'll go inside and inspect the interior and fix, or actually replace, any of the broken ones in here. And this actually didn't seem too bad. I was kind of expecting more broken blocks, but this seems okay. And then this one has a cracked block in the chimney, and that's about it. So, all in all, not too bad. And we got back enough blocks to make, what, about 4 more bricks back? So, yeah, pretty good change. And with that, friends, I welcome you to the Steel Age. We are at the top tier of material sciences in Vintage Story for metallurgy. Currently, there are no better metals than steel. And let's take a look at how these stack up against... Oh, right. Let's do that. There we go. Now we can look at how these stack up against the iron competition. So a steel hammer, 4,500 durability versus 1,800. So this is a 2.5 factor of durability. And attack power doesn't really matter for a hammer, but let's take a look at, say, the pickaxe and see how much faster it mines things. So let's do that. So again, 2,500 versus 1,000. We are at a 2.5 factor in durability. And tool tier is 5, meaning we can now mine much higher, well, 1 level higher tier materials, which in this case only includes ilmenite and chromite, I believe. As you can see, the mining speed on stone and ore and metal is 9 versus 7.5. So while it's not a huge change in terms of overall speed, it is still a nice extra bit of multiplier on top of our current rather fast iron pickaxe. And the same can be said of the armors as well. Steel armor, being tier 4, will protect against tier 4 and tier 5 drifters and other damage sources much better than iron even, because the protection will not get halved. But everyone, that's going to about do it for the episode. I hope you enjoyed this kind of housekeeping mishmash episode of things I've been wanting to do for a little while, and babysitting the steel production while we were doing it. I had a lot of fun checking out all these new mods with you, as well as one that we just had and hadn't used yet, and also getting resin and upgrading our windmill to 6 whole windmills, or 6 whole rotors. Anyway, I am very much looking forward to spring finally actually arriving, hopefully soon, and then we can get into some more things around the house, especially landscaping and farming. I'm going to keep working on iron and steel making in the background between episodes, so if you suddenly see a big pile of steel ingots and a dwindling pile of iron ingots, well, you'll know why. But I'm not going to otherwise take up any more of your time with iron and steel working, unless something changes in an upcoming release. As always, my name has been Corazar. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.